Hi, everyone. My name is Amber Burns, and I am from the Duluth-Superior Area Community Foundation.
And I'm Patty Salo Downs, and I'm with the Alworth Scholarship Foundation. And we have a ton of money we want to give away to help you pay for school, whether it's college, vocational school, getting a certification. There is money for every type of vocation that any student, high school senior, wants to pursue. So listen up. You're going to get some free money.
All right, so here we are. Here's our information again. And together, Patty and our foundations give away over $2 million a year.
So we know the cost of college and even going to a trade school can be expensive, especially when we don't have any extra funds laying around. So just to give you the sticker shock prices here of 1 year at going to a local college, UMD, it's about $25,000, but that's just for 1 year. So when you look at the numbers above, you have to multiply that by 4. That's a big chunk of change, and you don't need to pay for your college at all. There are many, many people who want to help you drive down that debt. And that's why this presentation is life-changing. It will change your life so that you can graduate debt-free. 1 year of trade or technical school, 6,500 to 13,000, but you have to multiply that by 2, maybe sometimes 3, who knows? But anyway, this is why we're excited to be here, because we both ended up with debt when we graduated from college, and we are passionate that that doesn't happen for you.
Yes, I mean, we hear so many students who say, I'm just going to take out student loans. But guess what? You have to pay all of that money back. But scholarships are free money. You never have to pay a scholarship back. So we encourage you to apply for as many scholarships as you can, because we do not want you to have to go into student debt. And we have stories of students who have gone to college debt free.
It happens every day. So I'm so sorry. There we go. Let's do the math. This is my favorite part. Okay, so the Alworth scholarship is $24,000. That's a nice big chunk of change, $6,000 per year. So yeah, you have to fill out an application. It might take you 2 hours. If it takes you 2 hours and you receive the scholarship, you just made $12,000 an hour. I know about a student in Esco, Minnesota. She applied for 15 scholarships. She received 10, and she had $76,000 in her hip pocket. It is doable, but you have to do the work and apply. But you can pay for school if you want to work full time at $15 an hour, but you're putting in 2,080 hours to get 31,200. But that's before taxes. That's the take home pay is much less than that. And the other thing to remember too is that scholarships are just not for the top students, the 4.0 perfect student. They're scholarships for everyone. So have confidence in your potential to be awarded. I hear every spring when I go to awards programs, I never thought I'd get the Alworth. I was shocked, but they applied and they got the Alworth, and then they don't have to worry about how they're going to pay for college so much. And when we use the word college, we're encompassing everything: vocational school, 4-year degree, 2-year degree. It's just a catch-all word for all of that. So one thing I always like to say, shoot your shot, because you never know you could get this. Be confident in your capabilities. There's one thing that it's a reality for seniors in high school. They don't maybe know exactly what they want to major in. There's a little bit of confusion. They might have liked chemistry, they might have liked English, but what do I major in? Well, major in what you liked in high school and figure it out in college, because you're going to have way many opportunities to expand your ability to see where your career might take you in these fields. You might end up as a chemistry major, but then realize, because you had a fantastic biology teacher, that, hey, it's biology I want to do. Or English, you might decide, no, maybe not. Maybe I'll become an elementary school teacher. So there's a lot that can happen over those 4 years in changing your mind. And just remember, it's okay to change your mind. All right. And in fact, if you go in more open-minded, the chances of you landing in something that you're passionate about is really much greater. And now Maddie didn't know what she wanted. She loved math. went to University of Wisconsin. She's now a biostatistician for Mayo and loves her work, and she gets to work from home. She works remote. So she worked it, she shoot her shot, and she graduated debt-free even through her master's degree. But it was with other scholarships and some part-time work that helped her do that.
So why scholarships? Well, there's so many different reasons. We want you to have a great experience when you go to college. We want you to be able to do things like study abroad or do undergraduate research, maybe go to grad school, get involved in those clubs and activities, or think about landing your dream job. And my number one thing is graduate with little to no debt, right? We don't want you to have to go work 3 different part-time jobs while you're doing your homework and going to classes and not being able to do all of the fun things that college offers. So get applying and get some free money.
Yes, and I have an example of someone who did that. Shane up in Erie, he went to the University of Minnesota mechanical engineer first week as a freshman. He shows up at the Solar Car Club meeting and he says, okay, put me where you need bodies. Okay, I want to learn, I want to work, I want to be a part of this club. So what happened is, whoop, the solar car that they built, I am so sorry about this. My mouse is a very active mouse. And he, okay, there's the solar panel, okay, that one of them that fuels the car. And what happened is 4 years later, with this car, he was able to travel across Australia racing the car they built. They won 2nd place in the World Solar Car Race and 1st place Best International Team. So what a story. But he didn't know anything. He walked in and he said, I'm here, I want to learn. And guess what? He had a fantastic lifetime experience. And that's what we want for you. And that's why scholarships are so important, because he would never have been able to devote all that time on the solar car team and have that wonderful experience.
Yes. So where do you find scholarships? Well, there are so many out there. Patty is with the Alworth. We have over 80 different scholarships with our foundation, but there are so many more out there, and we encourage you to look for all of them. The best place you can start really is your school guidance office or your counselor. A lot of schools will put together like a Google Classroom or a Schoology page or something, and they will constantly be updating all of the scholarships they know are available to you. We also encourage you to look at the schools that you're interested in. If you're thinking about UMD or UWF, look at that school's website. They have scholarships available to you as well. Employers, maybe your parents or grandparents or your neighbors work at a company that also provides scholarships. Minnesota Power, Uland Brothers, there's so many companies out there that are wanting to support students through school. Churches, unions, Rotary clubs, there's all sorts of scholarships out there. And again, keep asking around, keep looking for them, because again, like that girl who applied for 15 different scholarships and got $80,000, she did that research. She gathered all of those scholarships, applied for that many. So we encourage you to do the same thing.
Yes. And there are so many students who are just thrilled they're able to graduate debt with little to no debt, so they can go on and do things that are really compelling. Like maybe they want to volunteer a year somewhere, and they don't have to worry about paying back that money. And some students end up with considerably big loans, and they end up paying for them for almost half their lifetime. So you don't want to go there. Okay, the Alworth Scholarship, it's a academic scholarship, and it's one where we require academic criteria, ACT score of 24 or higher. If you haven't taken the ACT, take the ACT. You've got opportunities in December and in February. Our deadline is January 15th. Submit your application in spite of not having those test scores, and those test scores can catch up with your application, even if you take the test in February. We also require a minimum GPA of 3.5 and you must be pursuing a 4-year degree. You can start at a 2-year community college and then transfer somewhere else. Math, science, engineering, medical fields, very specific. Mr. Alworth loved those fields, and that's why we are very specific in what we fund. There is a financial need. We're looking at 175,000 adjusted gross income of your parents. So anything less than that, you're in on under the financial need criteria. And we also look for 1 letter from a math or science teacher. So I'm just going to say every year, you know, I get letters from the coach, the English teacher, the Spanish teacher, from our applicants. And I'm thinking, oh no, you weren't supposed to do that. You're supposed to do a math science teacher. And of course, those applications gets put off to the side. They didn't follow the directions. So a tip when you're applying for scholarships, there's little details. So be sure to fine tune, do what they ask you to do. Not every scholarship is going to ask for the same type of information. And 24,000, that is the ticket. And my little arrows aren't working on my keyboard, so I have to use my mouse, and I am sorry, my mouse likes to jump around.
That's all right. All right, so the Duluth-Superior Area Community Foundation, we have over 80 different scholarships, and they're for anybody. 4-year degree, 2-year degree, trade school. Some of them are smaller, like $1,000, and then some of them are quite large. We gave away a $40,000 scholarship last year, and there's different kinds of criteria and eligibility requirements for all of our scholarships. So one way you can start to navigate and look at the scholarships is go to our website and find our scholarships. And then an easy way to navigate it would be to put in your high school. What high school are you attending? And then it'll sort that page by all the scholarships that just by attending your high school you qualify for. And then you can kind of look at the different criteria and see if you qualify for those. And then once you click apply for scholarship, go ahead and go to the next slide, Patty. Okay. You will create an account on our student portal, on our scholarship portal. And this will live with you through your entire education. So we encourage you to create an account for free with your personal email address, not your high school email address, because that goes away after high school. And this will live with you through your degree, your undergrad, your grad school. Even if you go into doctorate, we have scholarships for you, and this portal will live with you. And you can do that right now. You can create a portal right now for free. And then if you go to the next slide, so once our application opens, which is December 1st, so you won't see the application right now, but once it's December 1st, you'll see the 2025 universal application. And what's really cool is that you'll click Start Eligibility Quiz, and the first page of our application is an eligibility quiz. You fill it out. What school are you interested in? What are all the schools? What are the degrees you might be interested in? You don't need to know. You can just click on all the things. And then it'll automatically sort out all of the scholarships that you qualify for. So we'll do the work for you. I think that's the best way to sort of navigate, like, what can I apply for? Just take this eligibility quiz and it'll start sorting them out. And then, yeah, we always encourage trade school. It's such a great field. There's a lot of need in the trades right now. And we have scholarships for the trades. We even have a scholarship if you are in an apprenticeship through a union. That is paid for. That's free. However, your tools are not paid for. So we have a scholarship that will pay for your tools, your work boots, your welding gear, whatever it is you need. We have a scholarship for that as well. Okay, so this slide can feel overwhelming when you look at it. What's in an application? Okay, some of these things are required by all of them are required by certain scholarships, and others aren't. You might just have to write an essay about your volunteer activities, and they don't need anything beyond that type of information. So this is a little primer, of what you can expect, but just know that not every scholarship is going to ask for all that information. And so I mentioned the ACT, we require it. It's an academic scholarship. That's why
Duluth-Superior Area Community Foundation does not require it. So, but it's to your advantage to take it, even though it's not required, because it might garner you additional funding from at your academic institution.
Yeah, so we love to talk about your essays and your short answers, and any video components that you might have to put in, because this is what the scholarship committee is looking at. They're looking at your story. And we really want you to think about your story in terms of like, who are you? We want to know you. We want to know beyond I'm a hard worker, because everybody's a hard worker. Like, tell us about yourself. Why are you a hard worker? Or maybe you're not able to participate in school activities after school because you have to go home and take care of your siblings, or maybe you go to work after school. You know, all of those things are little parts of your story that can tell us who you are. We could look at your GPA and just look at, you know, oh, 3.5, but that doesn't tell us anything about who you are, what you're passionate about, what kinds of classes you like to take. So really take some time and think about your story in your essays. And I have, you know, a lot of the essay questions are the same across the board. So you could make, you know, one really great essay and probably use it for multiple scholarships.
And think beyond I'm a hard worker. I think Amber already mentioned that, but we see that over and over again. Put some passion, put some zest into your essay. And also just remember, you can ask for help. You know, if you're struggling with what to write about or how to answer a question, talk to people about it. How would you answer this question? Give me some ideas. And remember, there are 2- and 3-part questions. Be sure to answer all parts of those questions. Most often, one of our challenge questions is, you know, tell us about a challenge. The students are really good about answering that part, but then what did you learn? They often skip filling in the details about the learning from that experience. And so personal stories really help. Be concise, double, triple check your grammar. We are going to be monitoring essays to see if individuals have been using a considerable amount of AI to write their essays. And if they have, they may not go on for further consideration. So write it, make it your own, do your own work, write it. Grammarly, you know, I know a lot of students use it. That's not a problem. But if you use total AI for writing, you could eliminate your chances of receiving the scholarship. And also don't procrastinate, okay? With writing those essays. Start now, start noodling, and get some concept thoughts flowing, and then you can start building them up over time so that they're ready by our deadlines, and you're not writing them the night before. You know, January 15th is our deadline. Our scholarship opens on November 1. In fact, you can get the information that you need for filling out your application on our website. It's called the application checklist. You can start now. You can find the essay questions and start, you know, working on. And then of course, Amber's scholarship, you're open December 1, right?
Yes, yes. Yes,
And
we're open December 1, and then our deadline is February 13th.
Yeah. And teachers, you know, for those scholarships that you need a teacher letter of recommendation, ask them now. Don't ask them January 13th or February 12th. You're not going to get a letter. They'll either say no, or they'll write a letter that doesn't do you justice, because they'll just do it just to be nice, but they may not have the time to do you justice. So ask them now. Be sure you've got that working for you. And those letters of recommendation may be used across multiple scholarships. So you may just have to ask for 1 or 2 depending on the focus of the recommendation. But certainly get busy, start doing it now. And Amber, tell them about the spreadsheet that one student put together.
Yeah, we had a student, and this is such a good idea. She created a spreadsheet. She put the name of the scholarship, the deadline for the scholarships, because they're all different. And then she also put the essay question of that scholarship in the spreadsheet. And then she could look and be like, oh, I already answered that essay question for this scholarship. So again, you can reuse these essays over and over or kind of, change them to fit the scholarship. And I just thought that was such a great idea that I want to share it with you because you could do something very similar.
And then you won't miss deadlines either, for submitting your application. There's one thing about essay questions too. If there's 4 essay questions, answer all of them. Our last essay question is, what else would you like to share about yourself? We've had students not put anything after that question. And you know what happens to their application? They don't get the scholarship. And the board talks about it. They say, geez, if only they would have written something in that box, they would have had my vote. So answer them all, don't skip them. And then here's the other thing, don't wait, don't succumb to these excuses for not applying. I won't get it. I don't have time, overwhelmed by the process. If you put that spreadsheet together, you won't be overwhelmed. I'll just take out loans. That means debt, and more debt. I'm not a good writer. Get help. It takes too much time. Yeah, it will. But remember the math. Okay. $12,000 per hour. I don't know of anyone who makes $12,000 an hour. And I don't know of any high school senior who makes $76,000 to $80,000 their senior year raking in scholarship money. So this is your most lucrative year for making money to help you pay for school.
And we also wanted to point out, you may qualify for free tuition. There is a new program called the Minnesota North Star Promise Scholarship through the Department of Higher Education. And this is, you have to be a Minnesota resident. You have to have a family adjusted gross income of $80,000 or less. And then you have to go to a Minnesota public school or community college. If you fill out the FAFSA, you will know if you qualify for the Minnesota North Star Promise Scholarship. So we want to encourage you, to look for that, go to a Minnesota school if you qualify for this. However, this only pays for your tuition, and college costs a lot more than just your tuition, right? You have fees, you have books, you have housing, you have food, you have car payment, all of those things that also cost money. So scholarships can still help you out to cover the rest of your expenses. But please check out if you qualify for the Minnesota North Star Promise.
And I guess we're done, Amber. We've done a mind dump.
Yay! It's a lot. It's a lot. But we are rooting for you. We are rooting for you. We want you to get this free money. So please contact us. We're here to help.
Okay. And that's true. Call us anytime. We are here to help you. And we wish you all the best your senior year. We hope you apply and get a lot of money to help you pay for college. It will bring you peace of mind and also confidence that other people believe in you and your future. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great evening.